Hello and welcome to my second installment of the potential futures of social media. In the previous video, I gave a quick debriefing on the history of social media and displayed some insight on the effects it's had on humanity and mental health. I also said that I wanted to look at historical sci-fi text to help speculate my own ideas for the potential futures. So to begin this, I'll be looking into the science fiction text Nosedive from the Netflix original series Black Mirror, a British speculative anthology series created by Charlie Brooker in 2011. It considers the murky relationship between humans and technology, the latter of which often threatens to progress so quickly that our ethical frameworks don't have a chance to catch up. So this Black Mirror universe consists of a future version of Earth where social media seems to have taken over social society. In this world, everyone seems to be a part of one social media network. It ranks people out of 5, identifying the social value of the person. This is accomplished by the app allowing you to rank every single social interaction or encounter with another. So in this world, you are always aware of everybody's current social status. We see people displaying fake versions of themselves during interactions, repressing natural emotions, all in hopes to be liked and ranked up. I'd just like to quickly note that this app seems like if Facebook and Yelp had a baby. This isn't exactly the current situation the human race is facing, but it bears a reflection on what we do have today. It's predicting a situation the human race could experience if this technology becomes unified and out of control. In these times of today, we can already base the social stature of people based on their cyber image, as if a person you didn't know may have loads of followers and lots of likes on their posts. We would generally perceive these people to be popular. Within the episode, it shows the protagonist struggle in a quest to constantly up her ratings, as she believes that it will bring her life more joy and potentially help her find enlightenment. We see all these efforts the protagonist offers in order to try to up her ratings, but this ultimately becomes her downfall, as it was a slippery slope of her sliding down the ranking system due to her noticeably trying too hard. As she tries to make it to her friend's wedding, she keeps getting ranked lower and lower, until she finally arrives unwelcomed because her ranking is so low. This was the worst place for this display of emotions, as she gets ranked lower than she could ever imagine. As I've mentioned previously, social media is a tool, and when people use it incorrectly and or for the wrong reasons, this can usually be seen when influencers project these fabricated existences to all their followers to admire to. People start trying to have this life with no way of actually being able to achieve it. This can leave people with unrealistic expectations and can leave the general public feeling empty and left out. Her freakout eventually led her into jail, where she was deprived of the technology that was once so valuable to her existence. This led her to lose her filter and also to lose her fear of being judged.
What sort of cartoon character did your mom have to fuck to brew you up in the womb?
At least I look like I was born.
It's a pretty captivating moment when we see her realize that the rating system is flawed, when she realizes that her whole life has been fake. But we can almost see now that she has this freeing stress from her world.
Fuck you for Christmas!
I'd also like to throw in here that Community, a show created by Dan Herman, co-creator of Rick and Morty, had an episode that is almost an exact replica of Nosedive. It's kind of funny to think that this came out in 2014 when Nosedive aired in 2016. It's like Black Mirror just taxed the idea of this episode. So anyway, in this episode of Community, the cast are introduced to this new social networking technology that ranks people on their social status.
They'd like to beta test their latest social networking app on our campus, which could be good for us. Look what Facebook did for Harvard, right?
Bixel, what did you think of the way the dean introduced us?
I thought he did great. That's why I'm giving him 5 Meow Beans.
Aw.
Well, Bixel, I'm sorry, but I thought his intro was just okay. That's why I'm gonna give him 2 out of 5 Meow Beans.
Meow Beans.
With Meow Beans, students can rate teachers. Teachers can rate students.
This quickly deconstructed the society the community college once had, tearing them apart into different divisions based on their rankings, lower being the scum and the highs as gods. It basically turned into a dystopian future in the matter of days. The show resolves this social disaster by one of the protagonists of the series having the chance to express to everyone how flawed the system actually is. This ending is much similar to the one in Nosedive, where we see the character's realization of how futile their values are of the social networking system. Now, to relate this back to the DA purpose, we were shown a world that closely resembles society's current situation with our technology. This leaves me with the idea that we are advanced cyborgs, as general human life nowadays cannot seem to exist without some sort of access to technology 24/7. It feels weird to say that that's not even an exaggeration. As McLuhan argued, all media, which to say all technology, is an extension of human physical, social, psychological, or intellectual function. The wheel, for example, is an extension of our legs. The computer extends our brain. Electronic media extends our central nervous system. And memory chips and networks extends our neurons and synapses. So I guess a clear answer that I'm gathering from all this so far is that we as individuals have to understand the social conditions that we're living in. We have to realize that we are a part of a time where technology is advancing at such a rate it's hard to keep up. We should be educated and familiarized with the idea that social media is a powerful tool. We need to understand it, to use it properly and productively, instead of falling into the trap of mindless scrolling and absorbing garbage content, which could potentially lead us into living the tier-based system society seen in Nosedive. Luckily, we're currently at a stage where social media developers have recognized some of the problems social media can have on a person's mental health. Facebook began removing likes as of 2019 in selected countries such as Australia, Brazil, Canada, Ireland, Italy, Japan, and New Zealand. Facebook's reasoning for removing likes is to emphasize the quality of content users share and take away the popularity aspect, which has been associated with mental health implications for teens. So the developers have currently taken considerations to prevent this foreseen future of social media overruling natural human behavior. Adam Mosseri, chief of Instagram, has also taken note on this issue and followed in Facebook's footsteps, as according to the New York Times. Likes are the social media currency undergirding an entire influencer community, inspiring a million Kardashian wannabes and giving many of us regular people daily endorphin hits. But lately, Mr. Mosseri has been concerned about the unanticipated consequences of Instagram. It's good to see that the masses have noticed and acted on this problem, but if it has done any good to society has yet to be documented, at least from what I can find. I can say from experiencing this personally, I haven't noticed too much of a change mentally. Neither did I notice any changes in the way that people use the platform. I guess because you can still see your own likes and the amount of followers anyone has. You can also see likes if you use a desktop or a VPN for those whiz kids. For the next installment of the series, we're going to be taking everything we've gathered throughout this journey and use this newly gained insight to predict some of the probable scenarios of what the future may look like due to the influence of social media. Futures for the next 20 to 5 to next year. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you then.